Anthropic has Claude Cowork and Claude Code. ChatGPT has ChatGPT, the chat app, and then it has Codex, which is Cowork like code. It's confusing. And Gemini has nothing. Google Gemini doesn't really have anything like this. You can set it up in anti-gravity, but it's not the same. It's the one big missing piece from Google, actually. I say this as somebody going to lunch with Google and doing an interview with Google, but I'll tell them this. I'll be honest. I need to solve a puzzle for TikTok. There we go. After live streaming for an hour, TikTok makes me do a puzzle. I need to set up an automation to take control of that. Could I ask, is Cowork an agent? Is Codex? Yes. Or do you have to create agents inside? Cowork and Codex create agents to go off and do tasks. That's a better way of saying it. So Cowork and Codex are... Cowork is a piece of software in which you can create agents. Codex is also a piece of software, but it's also a model. There's a model called Codex. Is there any way to route Cowork to third-party models? I don't think so. Can we use a local LLM? Let's see if I could connect it to LM Studio, for example. I think not. That's a really good question. Okay. This is saying, yeah, we could. Yeah, so we're still using Claude for the main running of the automation, but we could ping elements of that automation to a local LLM or to a third party if we wanted to. But no, there isn't a way to directly use a different model inside of the application itself, but we could connect in another model. What program are you using? This is Claude. It's the Claude app, and the Claude app has Claude Cowork and Claude Code in it. But we've mainly been looking at Claude Cowork and me trying to nudge people into trying it out. Oh, thank you, Ole. Skills are awesome. I've made a couple of skills for myself to make my life easier. So that's something I also want to talk about. So Anthropic, I won't talk about it today because we've run out of time. There's a lot to talk about. Anthropic just put out a guide, which is on my list to cover. Okay, Department of War. Maybe it's on Claude. I don't know why they have so many. Claude Marketplace. All right, Claude Skills. They've just put out a 33-page guide about building skills. The complete guide to building skills for Claude is a 33-page guide about creating skills. Ole mentioned in chat that he's making skills at the moment. I briefly showed you how we can connect to skill packages inside of Cowork. And what that does is extends the capabilities by giving a set of guidelines, a set of instructions to Claude so that it knows how to act in different capacities. It's like Neo in the Matrix, getting the jack in the back of his head, and now he knows Kung Fu. We can do that with Claude, but we can give it many different skill packages. You can also make your own skill packages. So for example, the newsletter that I write every single day, what I do is I take the transcript from this live and it goes into Claude in order to prepare that first draft. That is done with the help of a skill. The skill has my tone of voice. It has the kind of phrases I use. It has things like make sure you use British English because that's how I talk. Although it requires me to refine it over time because it kept using words like properly mental. That's what it kept adding. I think I said once, properly mental on a live stream. Yeah, I love that. That's very British. So it would put it into every single thing. It'd be like, oh, Anthropic is standing up to the Pentagon. That's properly mental. It's like, come on. So you have to still refine and tweak these Claude skill packages. Otherwise, they're not very smart. So this is a guide from Anthropic about skills. Later in this week, do a live stream on skills in particular, and I will cover this guide as well and include it for everybody. But if you look it up now, you'll be able to find it because that looks like a useful resource. They've got a lot of stuff here about the technical requirements and how to set up the YAML. Just work with Claude for a while and then say, hey, can you wrap this up in a skills package for me, please? That's enough, honestly. Just switch from GPT to Claude. What key tips do you have? Projects. I know they have projects in ChatGPT, but projects in Claude are really powerful. I've always found them a lot better inside of Claude. It's a lot more to the information you give to it. So definitely explore projects. I might do a basic, hey, ChatGPT to Claude presentation as well. I think that would be useful. How about security? I'm always concerned about security. That's one of the main reasons why you'd want to use Cowork over OpenClaw. OpenClaw is really exciting, but it is the Wild West. And when it comes to security, it's a nightmare. I think it was Ali K. Miller. She was at an OpenClaw meetup over in America. And one of the questions was, put your hand up if you think that your setup is 100% secure. Not a single hand. A lot of the people who use OpenClaw, YOLO, let's go nuts. OpenClaw does have real problems in terms of security, and it's basically a one-person team, Peter. I know he has contributors, but it's basically Peter. So there are limitations that you need to keep in mind there. What they're doing with Cowork is they're a bit behind OpenClaw. They're releasing things bit by bit once they know that they are safe. Now, if you instruct Cowork to connect to your bank account and you instruct Cowork to trade stocks, you're suddenly opening up new vectors of attack. You're opening up new potential problems. So you need to be careful. If I give it access to Stripe, I would only give it read-only access. What I've noticed though with OpenClaw in particular is that it doesn't necessarily have the guardrails in place to protect your safety, whereas Claude very much will. So if I connected to Stripe, Cowork would be like, oh, you should only give me access to blah, blah, blah. Never give me the API keys. It would go through all of the steps. So they're more cognizant about safety, but it's not 100% safe. Any system where you are abdicating responsibility to an agent, there's always going to be risks. One great thing about Opus is it's very prompt injection resistant, probably the most difficult to prompt inject. So at least you have that benefit out of the box.